A very good evening to everyone, guys. Mhm. Let me just add the PDF here right now. A very good evening to everyone. Just confirm me whether I'm visible and audible to every one of you guys. Okay, thank you. Thank you. So I think like I'm visible and audible to all of you guys here. Sure. Thank you all guys. And now, my dear friends, welcome to our series of discussions here on clinical cases in anatomy. So I'm going to discuss, I'm discussing actually all the clinical conditions in anatomy related with other subjects like surgery, orthopedics, and radiology and all those. And continuing with the same series, and as I promised you, all of you people, that I'm going to, come every weekend. Every weekend on Saturday and Sunday, we'll be having our session here right now. So our, the clinical discussion wala session. And if you have attended my previous classes, in the last classes, we have completed on the very first day. We have done with the inguinal canal and the hernias related with that one, inguinal hernia, and how to differentiate that with the femoral hernia and all. And in the second session of clinical case discussion, we have discussed about the upper limb topic. And in the upper limb, we have discussed about radial nerve and how to differentiate the various injuries in that one, like higher lesion and the lower lesion, and how to differentiate the crutch palsy with the Serotinite palsy. And then we have discussed about the lower radial nerve lesions also, like posterior interosseous nerve and all. So what I'm trying to do is like in every clinical session, I'm trying to pick up like one region, anatomical region. So we are done with the abdomen region in the inguinal canal. And in the last class, we are done with the upper limb topic, guys. And now welcome, welcome to my third class of the clinical session, my dear friends. I hope you people are ready now. And this time I have picked up another interesting topic for you people, that is embryology. So after completing like abdomen and the upper limb part, and now welcome to the embryology part right now, sir. And yes, that's what I'm telling Rocket, Dr. Rocket. And today we are actually going to discuss the embryology part. And in embryology part, we are going to discuss the development of the heart, first of all. And in the development of the heart, after completing the anatomy part of that one, then we'll do one thing. Let us see the congenital heart diseases like a tetralogy of the Fallot, and then we'll discuss about the transposition of the great arteries, and then the patent truncus arteriosus, and so on. Let's see. And I'll tell you even correlate that with the medicine part also. Today we are going to correlate the anatomy with the medicine part. See the congenital heart disease, and we'll see like, why they are using particular drugs and all those things. With the chest x-rays also, I'll show you okay, how to identify that and all. Is it okay? Fine here. So let us deal with, first of all, like the anatomy part, that is embryology part. Okay. Anatomy, embryology part we'll do first. And then, okay, no problem, Rocket. We'll also do the pharyngeal arch arteries. Otherwise, now we'll do one thing. We'll always have like a poll-like thing. I have even asked you in the last session also. Okay, suggest me like what topics you need. I'll deal with those topics only in the clinical case discussions here. You know? Yes, fine. तो चलिए सर आज का टॉपिक स्टार्ट करते हैं विदाउट एनी डिले फर्दर. लेट्स गेट स्टार्टेड विद द development of the heart first of all, and then later on we'll see how to deal with that with the clinical conditions like congenital heart disease, how it is related. And I'll teach you in a very conceptual manner. Listen to my class very carefully. I'll tell you a little bit slowly so that everyone should understand. Okay, fine here. So shall we go ahead, guys? आगे बढ़ेंगे. Are you all ready? ओके चलो सर, अगर आप लोग सब लोग रेडी हैं तो चलिए स्टार्ट करते हैं विदाउट एनी फर्दर डिले. फाइन. नाउ ऑन द स्क्रीन यू आर एबल टू सी द डायग्राम ऑफ द एम्ब्रियो. ओके, and in this diagram of the embryo you are able to see this part here right now. This is nothing but the developing heart there. This is nothing but cardiogenic region. Their heart is forming there, and apart from that you can see it is connected to the dorsal aorta with the help of this arch arteries, the pharyngeal arches. You'll be having all those 6 pharyngeal arches with the arch arteries. Yes, that is your arterial system. And you are also able to appreciate in the diagram the veins which are going to drain the blood into the heart, guys. You'll be having your umbilical vein coming from the mother, you'll be having vitelline vein, and then the cardinal vein, guys. All that venous system and arterial system will deal in some other classes. Okay, for now, right now, our concentration is mainly on the development of the heart. Development of the pharyngeal arch arteries, and the development of the entire venous system, superior vena cava, inferior vena cava, and all. I'll deal in other classes, guys. For now, in this class, our main topic is about the development of the heart here right now. ठीक है ना? तो better एक काम करो sir, start writing and start drawing the diagrams along with me, है ना? So welcome to our anatomy classes, conceptual and image based anatomy, है ना? तो मेरे साथ साथ में ना images draw कीजिए. First of all, you write down the heading there as development of heart. Development of heart, guys. You got to be a little bit patient today, okay? Now, have a little bit patience, and it's like purely conceptual topics. There's nothing to mug up. I will tell you everything later on in the tetralogy of the phalloid, why the cyanosis will occur, when will it occur, you know, and what is pulmonary oligemia, and then how or why it is going to become like boot-shaped heart. I'll even show you the chest X-ray. Everything we are going to learn, lekin from the very scratch. As you all know, you have been listening to my classes many a times. So let's begin from the scratch, from the very beginning. So thoda sa patience, okay na? Aram se, okay na? Padhiye mere saath mein. So now, welcome to development of the heart. My dear friends, first of all, can anyone tell me heart development begins when? When will the heart formation begins, guys? Let us deal like with the two one-liner questions here right now. Yes. When is the heart formation beginning? Remember, the heart formation will begin exactly on the 16th day. 16th day, guys. That is what you have to remember. The formation of the heart is going to begin from the 16th day onwards. Abdul Azim, it is not third month. Third month tak agar formation of heart start hoga to gadbadi ho jayega. Actually, cardiovascular system is the first to become functional, and it makes sense. Okay, now that is the reason why I'm telling you, don't try to mug up the things right now, guys. So don't try to mug up the things. Try to understand. Our heart should be first of all becoming functional. Why? Why? Because that is an organ which is going to pump the blood. And if it is going to pump the blood is going to reach to every system, and further development of every system will take place, like, nervous system, every system, pulmonary system and all. So it makes sense. Okay, what is the first system to develop or become functional in our body is the cardiovascular system, guys. So remember, heart formation is beginning on the 16th day. Day is important. Don't remember like month or week or whatever it is. It is 16th day. Achha, now, another important question already asked in your exams is when will the heart starts beating, sir? Heart beats. Okay, heart beats will be beginning from where? Yes, absolutely correct. Very good. Dr. J, Dr. Rocket. Yes, it is by 4th week, to be very specific, 22nd day. Okay, so heartbeats are going to begin by 4th week, to be very specific. Very good, Soumya, by 22nd day, guys. So these are the 2 points. First of all, you have to remember like one-liner questions. Okay, so heart formation is beginning on 16th day, and heartbeats are going to begin by 4th week onwards. Ab suno yahan se dhyan se, sir. Story like a sequence. First anatomy, and then we'll correlate with the clinical conditions like congenital heart diseases. Is it okay? So welcome. So my dear friends, when the heart formation is going to begin, initially you'll be having like 2 heart tubes. There'll be 2 primitive heart tubes, or we can say the endothelial heart tubes, or we can use the word as primitive heart tubes. So there will be 2 primitive heart tubes. Okay, now, so initially you'll be having like 2 primitive heart tubes, endothelial heart tubes and all. And from where are they going to form and all those things? I don't want to go into that thing right now. Okay, splanchno-pleuric lateral plate mesoderm. But look at your faces right now, sir. Sir, what the hell are you telling here? See, that you will be actually studying in your general embryology wala part. So general embryology, the first week, second week, and third week. In the third week, there is a formation of mesoderm, intra-embryonic mesoderm I'm speaking about. That's why I'm telling you, there's so much of terminology today. I'll teach you aram se, so have some patience. Another 1 hour, you'll completely be with me. Okay, now, completely with me, okay? Yes, whatever khatarnak terms you're using there. I can see Ross, I can see Sairam there, okay, now, angioblastic cells and all those things. Okay, all those are actually developing from where? They are developing in your splanchno-pleuric lateral plate mesoderm. If I tell you that one right now, we have to go into another topic of general embryology, but that is not our topic right now. Okay, na? So we are not going to deal with that one right now. So let's begin with directly from the heart tubes forming there. Okay. So third week of the pregnancy, general embryology, third week. In the third week, there is a formation of intra-embryonic mesoderm. And in that mesoderm, it is divided to paraxial, intermediate, and lateral plate. All of that is in detail done in my regular classes on Unacademy, sir. So right now, let's begin with the development of the heart straight away from here. So from now onwards, you just keep in your mind there are two heart tubes. Question number one to you people. Tell me, these two heart tubes, they are going to fuse together. Of course, they'll fuse together. You know? Imagine there are two heart tubes. They're going to fuse together. How? Are they going to fuse only cranially? Are they going to fuse only caudally? Or are they going to fuse completely? Yes. What is the right option? Don't say all the above right now. Yes. Are they going to fuse only cranially, only caudally, or completely, guys? What is the correct answer? Oh my God. Okay. Acha. Problem yahin se start ho gaya. How many of you are learning this topic for the very first time in life? Remember, these two heart tubes are going to fuse only cranially, guys. Cranially, they are fused, but remember, the caudal end will be free. So these two will be fusing, or they will be fuses cranially. Is it okay? Don't worry, guys. Even if you're learning for the very first time in your life, just be along with me. Another 1 hour, you'll become like perfect, sir. You'll get a perfect knowledge right from anatomy up to medicine part. Welcome. So they are only fused cranially and the caudal end is free. Okay. So there are two heart tubes. They're fused cranially and the caudal end will be remaining free. Ab kya hoga aage? Now remember it like a story here right now, sir. Ab aage kya hoga? Now further, what is going to happen? Further, in this, there'll be formation of three dilatations. There are three dilatations which are formed here right now. And those three dilatations will be something like this. Okay, so you'll be able to find one dilatation here, bulbus cordis, another dilatation here, primitive ventricle, and there'll be primitive atrium. So there'll be three dilatations formed there. Okay, so in this, fused heart tube, there'll be three dilatations formed. And don't think that I'm going to show you only this ready-made diagram here right now. No, we are going to draw this diagram. So after that diagram, continue here right now, guys. So the cranial end will be completely fused. And there'll be three dilatations formed. So dilatation number 1, then 2, and 3. This one will be your bulbus cordis, then the primitive ventricle, then the primitive atrium. And as I told you, the caudal end is completely going to remain free. Wow, lovely. Is it okay? So there are two heart tubes, and those two heart tubes are fused together. And after fusion, what is going to happen, guys? There is a formation of dilatation. Aram se, done. Now in this, my dear friends, I want all of you to first of all just concentrate on the ends right now. Please follow my strategy. Strategy is important here. Otherwise, I think you have seen the embryology books and all. In the embryology books, you'll be having tables. On one side, the structure will be given. On the other side, derivative will be given. And I have seen like thousands and thousands of students in my life. They'll be just mugging up, primitive ventricle, kya form ho raha hai? Primitive atrium, what is forming? Bulbus cordis, what is forming? You're just mugging. Don't mug up like that. Welcome to my classes. Let's learn conceptually. I'll tell you in such a manner that within 2 minutes, you are going to teach me embryology right now, sir. Yeah, dekho the answer. Now, my dear doctors, after fusion, what is going to happen? There'll be a cranial end, and that cranial end will be known as truncus arteriosus. The moment you write down the name, repeat that name in your mind. Please keep on repeating that name in your mind. You're going to learn the terminology now in my class. Is it okay? I really, really hate those kind of things where the faculty is going on telling here. And you people are like, aram se baith karna, note karte jao. And after the class, we'll see, कि कैसे पढ़ाई करना है मैं जब बैठकर रट्टा मार लूंगा नहीं होगा sir. It will not happen. Why? Because after the class, we have got like a lot of things to be done. WhatsApp, Facebook, girlfriend, boyfriend, we need to reply to them. And at that time, we'll be, keeping the book in the front, anatomy book in the front, truncus arteriosus. Suddenly, girlfriend's message will come, I love you. And the fellow is coming back there, love you too. Khattam, pura anatomy gaya. Anatomy is gone. Is it okay? So please, my dear friends, I'm requesting you for 1 hour, completely be with me. That's what I'm telling you. Forget about everything in your life. Forget about your girlfriend, boyfriend, everyone in your life. They are very safe. I'll take care about them. Okay. You concentrate on anatomy here right now. Okay. So what is the cranial end, my dear friends? The cranial end is truncus arteriosus. Okay. Truncus arteriosus. Fine. And what is the name of the caudal end here? The caudal end will be your sinus venosus. The caudal end will be sinus venosus. So the cranial end will be truncus arteriosus and the caudal end will be sinus venosus. Fine, well and good. Now, once you have memorized the name very well, now the next challenge in front of us, let me see who is going to tell me here. The next challenge in front of us is actually what are we learning, guys? Okay. Yes, Anmol, I'll take care. Why? Because Anmol, I don't have any other work right now in my life. Okay, just come here, teach, and go away. After that, I'm totally free. So I'll take it. Don't worry. Okay. Arey yaar, concentrate here. So we are having like heart tube, and the cranial end will be truncus arteriosus. The caudal end will be sinus venosus. Fine. Now, who is going to tell me? Yes, who is going to tell me this structure is actually going to form your heart? है ना, ये heart form करेगा. It is going to form heart, and heart is like a pump here. It is going to pump the blood. So definitely from one of the end, blood should enter. There should be inflow, and from the other end, the blood should come out. There should be an outflow. There should be an inflow and outflow. First, you people tell me which is going to form the inflow, guys, here. Which is going to form the inflow? Is it truncus arteriosus from where the blood is going to enter, or the sinus venosus from where the blood is going to enter? Come on, inflow is by truncus arteriosus or sinus venosus? Oh my God. I love this thing in my classes. I give you two options and you people will give me two options back. Lovely, very nice, है ना sir? And you people will be testing me. चलो sir, अब आप बताओ, देखते हैं आपको पता है कि नहीं है ना? I am asking you truncus arteriosus or sinus venosus, which is inflow, and you are giving me both the options back. So no, welcome to my anatomy class right now. No need to mug up. I'll tell you how. Doctors have not given the name just like that, है ना? ऐसे ही नाम नहीं दिया गया है, ऐसे ही नाम नहीं रखा गया है. थोड़ा ध्यान से देखना. That is why I told you to repeat the name in your mind. Why? Look at the name there. Sinus venosus. There's some trick there. Okay, now there is some hint there. Sinus venosus and venosus venous. Venous is the one which is going to, yes, drain the blood. So that is the reason why from here the blood will finally enter. Okay, my dear friends. So in my class, no need to mug up, no need to mug up, no need to mug up. I'm telling you repeatedly, learn with meaning. No ratta. Sinus venosus, venosus, venous. So blood is entering there. And the other side, you'll be able to see the truncus arteriosus, arteriosus artery. And from there, the blood is going to move out. And that is going to form what's an outflow. Oh my God. I guarantee you, you will never ever make a mistake in your lifetime. Forget a bit about your exams, whether it is next exam or NEET exam or FMG, whatever you're preparing for. I'm damn concerned with that. Yes, as a doctor in your lifetime, if you learn like this, you will never forget. Sinus venosus, venous, the blood is entering, inflow, and truncus arteriosus, the blood is going to move out. Is it okay? Outflow. So what is the advantage of learning like this, sir? Why are you stretching a lot on this point? What is the advantage of learning like this here right now? Yes, Gaurav? अब सुनो यहाँ पर ध्यान से. अब तो और भी मजा आएगा. Now you'll be more interested, Gaurav. Look here. एक काम करो. For 2 minutes, you forget about embryology. For 2 minutes, you completely forget about embryology and welcome to gross anatomy. That is like your body and my body right now. Now, my dear doctors, in your body and my body, yes, who is going to collect the blood from the upper half of the body? Superior vena cava. Who is going to collect the blood from lower half of the body? Yes, that is inferior vena cava. And blood from the lungs will be collected by, from the lungs it will be collected by pulmonary veins. There'll be 4 pulmonary veins. And finally, the blood from the heart will be collected by coronary sinus. I repeat again, I want you all to imagine like very broadly in your mind, guys. Take it up. Our complete body, you completely, broadly imagine in your mind. Upper half of the body blood is collected by superior vena cava. Lower half of the body blood is collected by inferior vena cava. From the lungs, it is by pulmonary veins. And from the heart itself, it is by coronary sinus. Sir, why are you telling all these things right now? Why? Because I can keep all this under inflow category. Yes or no? Of course, they are going to bring the blood to the heart. They are the one who are going to bring the blood to my heart. And our heart, you just imagine, yes, what is there in the heart, guys? The 4 chambers. We have been learning from school days, upper 2 atria and the lower 2 chambers will be ventricle. They are going to pump, and that pump, what is going to do? The blood is going to pump out. Come on. Who is going to take the blood out? Number 1, aorta, and number 2 will be the pulmonary trunk. है ना? Aorta is going to take the blood from the left ventricle and the pulmonary trunk from the right ventricle. Can I place these two under outflow category? Hello, my dear doctors, come on. Can I place them under the outflow category? Of course, they are going to carry the blood out of my heart, aorta and the pulmonary trunk. Very good, Divya. Very good, Shweta. Very nice. Okay, look here. Now you might be wondering, sir, why are you saying all this time pass story here right now? ये तो हमको पता है ना. हाँ, पता है. You know that very well, but randomly here and there. चलो इन दोनों को correlate करते हैं. This is the gross anatomy. This is gross anatomy right now. Now, my dear friends, yes. Now, my dear friends, what I'm trying to tell you here, how I'm going to make the embryology easy. Not even me. You are actually going to teach me embryology right now. I want each and every student to concentrate on the outflow right now. I want each and every student to concentrate on the outflow in your body and my body right now. Right now, blood is carried by aorta and the pulmonary trunk. Okay. If you go back to embryology from the gross anatomy, let's go back to the embryology. Come on, my dear friends. You people teach me. You people teach me right now. Okay, aorta and pulmonary trunk should be derived from where? Should be derived from where? Look at that confidence now in the chat box. Lovely. Very good, Vasil. Very good, Shweta, Gaurav, Surendra, Shilpa, everyone there. Everyone. Love you all. That is what I want in my classes. That is what I want in my classes. Look at that confident answers. No doubtful answer. Truncus arteriosus is the outflow, and that has to form definitely ascending aorta and the pulmonary trunk. Understanding my logic here right now? No need to mug up, guys. Is it okay? So which is going, the catching point there in this topic, the catching point in the topic there is, which is going to be the inflow part and which is going to be the outflow part. Or wahin par sare student hoti hai gadbadi. Understanding here? That is the reason why outflow, truncus arteriosus, and that is the reason why it should definitely gonna form what? Truncus arteriosus is going to form your ascending aorta and pulmonary trunk. Ascending aorta and the pulmonary trunk, guys. Lovely. Is it okay, Gaurav? Ab to aur bhi aasan ho gaya na? It is like very, very easy right now. So ascending aorta and the pulmonary trunk should be derived from where, sir? Truncus arteriosus. Definitely. So tomorrow in the exam, they are asking you pulmonary trunk is derived from where? Truncus arteriosus. Ascending aorta will be derived from where? Answer should be truncus arteriosus. Now welcome to sinus venosus. मैंने आपको क्या कहा था sinus venosus? Is it like fused or free there, sir? It is not fused. So if it is not fused, there will be a right horn and then there will be a left horn. There will be two horns, the right horn and the left horn. There will be two horns, right horn and left horn. And out of these two, remember, left horn of the sinus venosus is the one which is going to form coronary sinus, which is going to bring the blood from your heart, inflow part. Is it okay? So if you remember this one, outflow, we are done with outflow parts. So aorta are done and the pulmonary trunk done. And welcome to the inflow part. In this, coronary sinus will be derived from left horn of the sinus venosus. I think all of you are comfortable. And don't worry about the superior vena cava, inferior vena cava here. Why? Because our topic here is actually development of heart. Our topic is actually development of the heart. But remember, my dear friends, vena cava, it belongs to venous system, and that we'll study in our separate class, development of the venous system. तो उसके बारे में tension नहीं लेने का. Don't take any tension कि superior vena cava, inferior vena cava is derived from where. No, that comes under development of venous system. Is it okay, बच्चों? अब यार क्या बचा है? What is remaining? If you are done with the inflow and if you are done with the outflow, the middle part. The middle part is actually your four chambers of the heart. So atria and ventricles has to be definitely developing from here only. Will you agree with me? Understanding? Your atria and the ventricle should definitely be derived from this middle part. Okay, so that is the one which is going to form your ventricles, and that is the one which is going to form your atria, both right ventricle and left ventricle, the right atrium and the left atrium. And that is derived from these three dilatations here right now. Now, just for the sake of writing, let me just complete here. This one here, yes, this dilatation here, this is the one which is going to be known as bulbus cordis. Bulbus cordis. And this dilatation here will be your primitive ventricle. And this dilatation here will be the primitive atrium. Primitive atrium. So the primitive atria, the primitive ventricle, and the bulbous chordates, all this will contribute for the formation of your ventricles and atria. Ravi Parmar, no. A right horn is not exactly going to form your pulmonary veins. Pulmonary veins will be coming from the left atrium. That's a huge, another different topic. So just, आराम से जो मैं आपको बता रहा हूँ. Fine. Is it okay, guys? Any confusion till here? Any confusion till here? So let us just go back 1 minute. Let's have a revision here right now for the people who have just joined us late. Yes, my dear friends. During development of the heart, what you have to remember? Heart formation is going to begin on 16th day, and heart beats will begin by 4th week, that is 22nd day. There will be initially 2 heart tubes. There will be fusing cranially, and the caudal end is going to remain free. And after that, what is going to happen? There will be formation of dilatations. 3 dilatations: bulbous chordates, primitive ventricle, and primitive atria. But don't worry about that in the middle part. Importantly, worry about the cranial part and the caudal part. Truncus arteriosus, that is going to form outflow, and sinus venosus is inflow. And remember, because it is outflow, that is the one which is going to form your aorta and pulmonary trunk. And sinus venosus inflow, the left horn of that is going to form coronary sinus. And the middle part is going to form your atria and ventricle, guys. I think it's like very simple, hai na? Kitna aasan ho gaya? It can't be like much more easier than this one. Yeah? I think you're learning in the class itself along with me. Later on in our regular classes, my dear friends, I will also actually teach in detail about the ventricle and the atria. In that, we'll be having the rough part and the smooth part, the trabeculated part and the smooth parts. So all that things I'll be teaching in detail in our regular classes, not now. Why? Because right now, I want to take your attention completely on this truncus arteriosus. Okay. In this bulbous chordates wala part, again, you'll be having, the conus part. There are so many things in that one. The middle part I'm not going to touch right now. Right now, we are first of all going to discuss each and everything regarding truncus arteriosus. Are you ready? And as usual, you all know very well, if you have been learning my, attending my classes, I'll be starting from the scratch, and then slowly, the topics are going to become like more complicated. So like have more concentration in this one. Are you getting me? So let us go in detail or in depth about the truncus arteriosus. ठीक है, तो थोड़ा सा हम लोग ना इन डिटेल जाते हैं और फिर वहां से हम लोग देखते हैं कि लाइक फ्रॉम देयर विल सी व्हाट इज द क्लिनिकल कोरिलेशन विद दैट वन, हाउ टू कोरिलेट द कंजेनिटल हार्ट डिसीजेस. एंड आई वांट यू ऑल टू बी लाइक रियली मोर अलर्ट हियर राइट नाउ सर, थोड़ा सा और ज्यादा अलर्ट. Now do one thing, if you people are writing the notes over there, please drop your pens and sit back, relax, थोड़ा सा बैठ जाओ आराम से and listen to the concept here right now. What is the problem and how to sort it out? Listen to the concept here right now. Now, my dear doctors, I told you one point in the very beginning of the topic. I told you that the cranial end will be actually fused. The cranial end is fused, truncus arteriosus. But later on, when I was teaching you the topic, I told you that truncus arteriosus is going to form 2 blood vessels. One will be your aorta, ascending aorta. Another one will be the pulmonary trunk. Now, as a simple medical student, I'm like, first year MBBS student right now. And as a simple medical student, I'm like confused here right now. Are yaar, Azam sir is like, confusing us. एक बारी सर ने कहा था कि वो फ्यूज होता है. One sir told that it will be fused, and on the other side, sir is telling that it is going to form 2 blood vessels. How is it possible? Yes, remember, in the middle of this truncus arteriosus, ये doubt आपको आना चाहिए ना. You have to actually get this doubt, है ना. In the middle of this truncus arteriosus, there is a formation of septum there. And that septum is going to separate both of them, guys. It is going to separate the aorta from the pulmonary trunk. Okay, acha. समझ में आ रहा है? It's like a story. You just keep on following my class. It's like well planned, very well planned, one by one. So in the middle, there is a formation of septum. And that septum, I'll tell you one simple name first of all. On one side, there'll be aorta. On the other side, there'll be pulmonary trunk. Okay. See, Kaushik, what I'm trying to tell, Kaushik, how is your truncus arteriosus going to form 2 different blood vessels, aorta and the pulmonary trunk? How it is going to form the 2 of them? Why? Because in the middle there is a formation of septum. क्या form होगा यहाँ पर? Septum. And yes, on one side aorta, on the other side pulmonary trunk. That is why it is known as aorticopulmonary septum. Very good, Surendra. Aorticopulmonary septum, and it is also known as spiral septum. Let me show you the diagram here right now. Welcome. So in this diagram here, my dear friends, this is the uppermost part of the heart, the cranial part, upper part. And I told you in the middle, you'll be able to find those chambers and all. So that will not see right now. Observe here right now, the uppermost part, the cranial most part. Yes, that is nothing but your truncus arteriosus. And that truncus arteriosus is going to form your aorta and the pulmonary trunk. And in the middle, there is a formation of septum. That is why we have given the name as AP septum, aortico-pulmonary septum. AP septum, aortico-pulmonary septum. But aasan sa naam hai. It's like easy name there. Remember the another name of that one, that septum is also known as spiral septum. Now, sir, why is the reason? What is the reason? Why it is known as spiral septum? इसको ना spiral septum क्यों कहा जाता है? Yes. What is going to happen here? Yes, what is going to happen here right now, my dear friends? On one side, there'll be ascending aorta. On the other side, will be having the pulmonary trunk. Now, listen to this very, very carefully. Okay, listen to this very, very carefully here. So ascending aorta and the pulmonary trunk on the other side. In the middle, there is a formation of a septum. Which septum, sir? Spiral septum or aortico-pulmonary septum. And now you see the further diagram there. In the further diagram, you can see that septum is actually taking a turn. It is taking a spiral. And because of that spiral, what is going to happen? Actually, what is going to happen is pulmonary trunk is going to come from where? From the right ventricle. It's going to begin from the right ventricle. And then the aorta is going to actually begin from your left ventricle. It's happening because of that spiral. Understanding? So please try to understand the name and remember, don't tell simply like, sir, it is bulbar septum, conotruncal septum, kuch bhi nahi. ऐसे ही मत बोलो. So in that truncus arteriosus, I repeat again, there is a septum. That septum is known as aorticopulmonary. Why? Why? Because on one side aorta, on the other side pulmonary trunk. Aorticopulmonary septum. And it is also known as spiral septum. Why? Because that septum will take a spiral turn. And because of the spiral, what is going to happen? Aorta is going to begin from the left ventricle. Yes. And the pulmonary trunk is going to begin from the right ventricle. Understanding my point here right now? So therefore, let us just draw our diagram and to make it easy here. Okay. So thoda sa isko aasan banane ke liye, to make it like little bit easier, let us draw our diagram here. Just now, I have shown you the diagram of this developing heart here right now. Truncus arteriosus, bulbus cordis, primitive ventricle, primitive atrium. Bulbus cordis, primitive ventricle, primitive atrium, and this one will be your sinus venosus here right now. Perfect. Now, if this is your truncus arteriosus, मैं क्या कर रहा हूँ ना? I'm going to see from here. मैं यहाँ ऊपर से देखता हूँ. Okay, that's the truncus arteriosus. I'm going to see from above. Okay, so if you are observing this from above, only this diagram, I'm going to draw it separately here. So मान लो कि this one is your truncus arteriosus. Okay, ji. And in the middle of this, there's a formation of septum here right now. And because of this septum, what is going to happen? On one side, you'll be having the ascending aorta developing there. And on the other side, you'll be having the pulmonary trunk. Now, first of all, let us finish off learning this one. So what is the name of this septum? The name of the septum will be aorticopulmonary septum. Easy name. Another name of this septum here will be the spiral septum, guys. Lovely. I think all these things are going to become like very, very clear in your mind, sir. I think everything is becoming like crystal clear in your mind. So the uppermost part will be the truncus arteriosus, and in the truncus arteriosus, there is a formation of septum separating the aorta and the pulmonary trunk. That is why aorticopulmonary septum, or else it is also known as spiral septum, guys. Is it okay? And now let us finish one question here. Sir, you told that truncus arteriosus, agreed. You told there is a formation of septum, agreed. Everything is fine till here. But again, as a simple medical student, first year MBBS student right now, I'm getting a doubt in my mind. So from where are you getting this septum, sir? Achanak se septum kahan se form ho raha hai? Remember, this septum will be derived from the neural crest cells. Oh my God. Another very, 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 very important thing, sir. So neural crest cells are the one which are going to form. Neural crest cells are going to form the septum. Neural crest cells, वहां से क्या होता है ना, septum derive होता है. Very good Divya, very good Ujjayini, very good Satya. That's really nice of you people, guys. Okay, derive from where? Neural crest cells. And now don't ask me from where is the neural crest cells derived, guys. That is totally a separate topic that we'll learn in the central nervous system development. The neural tube formation. In the neural tube formation, you'll be having neural folds, and from there, the neural crest cells are derived and they will migrate. Okay. Fine, that is totally a different story. Take it, aram se, sir. Don't confuse yourself. So neural crest cells are the one which are going to form your spiral septum. Done. Clear. यहाँ तक बिल्कुल क्लियर है. Are you all clear till here? Are you all clear till here, my dear friends? Hello, my dear doctors. Are you all clear till here? Now, what is the reason why I'm asking you like 3-4 times here in the middle? Why? Because here ends the anatomy part. Anatomy part, like embryology part, will be ending here. And from here, we are going to correlate this with the clinical part right now. So, whatever you learn in your pediatrics or whatever you learn in your medicine part. So I'm now today going to correlate my anatomy with the medicine and pediatrics, guys. Are you all ready? I'm really not able to understand okay, what's happening here right now. You will just telling yes, yes, yes. Are you really understanding, guys? More than you people now, मुझे डर लग रहा है कि are you understanding or not? Why? Because I'm such a kind of person that I don't want to waste your time here actually. Okay, so please be sure. Okay, I think this time is actually useful here. You know? Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Okay, fine. And I think I'm just taking hardly a matter of like 1.5 hour, guys. Every weekend I'm just taking a time of like 1.5 hour from you people, and I think I'm making many concepts like very clear in your mind. So I'm not like what do you say, wasting your time here, है ना? वैसे आप लोग बहुत busy लोग हैं, you people are like very busy. Faizan is telling I want anatomy subscription. Welcome, Faizan. You are always welcome. Okay, you can just visit the website there, Unacademy website. So you can visit there and you can see all the details. Yes, thank you, Mohit, thank you, Sairam. Okay, because almost we are done with half of the class here right now. So that is why I want to just make sure. If you say no, you are actually wasting your time. No problem, sir. I'll just end the session and go away from here. Okay. Deep is telling actually we always free sell. Thank you. Welcome here. Mohit is telling my girlfriend recommended you. Oh my God. Aditya, you can always join. It is like very simple. Anatomy by Dr. Azam. Anatomy by Dr. Azam. Okay. चलिए. आगे बढ़ते हैं sir. Let's go ahead. Fine. Now let us go ahead here right now, guys. Okay. Fine. चलिए sir. अब हम बढ़ते हैं आगे. Now what I will do here, after teaching you like anatomy very crystal clearly here, after teaching the anatomy like very crystal clearly here, I will tell you the conditions and you people tell me the answer here right now. I want you all to think. As a faculty, I really hate monologue. I just keep on telling you and you keep on noting down there. Now, okay. So वैसे नहीं sir. Yes, not like that. I'll tell you and you people think about that one. You and me, we are like healthy people. We are like very lucky people actually. Everything normally has developed in your body and my body, and your heart and my heart is perfectly nice. Okay, now your heart and my heart is perfectly nice. We are lucky people. Now in some unlucky babies, in some unfortunate babies, what is going to happen? मान लो condition number 1 कि this truncus arteriosus, in the truncus arteriosus the spiral septum itself is not at all formed. Now come on guys, okay, so वार्तालाप हो चुका है. Okay ना, we have actually spoken to each other. हमने आराम से बात कर लिया है सर. अब यहाँ पर थोड़ा सा सीरियस है ना, पढ़ाई के टाइम पर पढ़ाई और मस्ती के टाइम पर मस्ती. Okay ना, so studies, we have to study very seriously here, and when you are enjoying, enjoy. Okay ना, so work hard and party harder. Now welcome here. Condition number 1 here, my dear doctors. Condition number 1, I am telling you that there is no spiral septum. मान लो कि spiral septum ही नहीं है. If there is no spiral septum, then tell me what is going to be the condition inside that one. What is the condition inside that one? The truncus arteriosus will remain as it is. The truncus arteriosus will remain as it is there, my dear friends, and there'll be no aorta there, and there'll be no pulmonary trunk separated apart. And that is why that condition is known as patent truncus arteriosus. What is that condition, guys? Patent truncus arteriosus. From that time, some people are going on telling transposition of great artery. It is not transposition of great arteries, guys. I want you to understand the meaning and learn there. Is it okay, Nana? So it is not at all like, what do you say, the transposition of the great arteries there. It is patent truncus arteriosus. Truncus arteriosus is remaining patent. It is remaining as it is, guys. There is no division into ascending aorta and the pulmonary trunk. That is the condition number 1. So what is the problem there? The problem is with the spiral septum not at all forming. Welcome to the condition number 2. See, I told you about the spiral septum. What is the story behind that? Why is the spiral septum important here? Why? Because initially you can clearly see ascending aorta here and the pulmonary trunk on the other side. Yes. What if the spiral septum does not spiral? Agar spiral septum spiral nahi hoga. Come on, think about that one. I want thinking, guys. I don't want that, just writing in the notes and mugging up. That's what. Agar spiral septum spiral nahi hoga, if the spiral septum doesn't spiral, doesn't turn, then what is going to happen? Aorta will be coming from where? Right ventricle. Okay, right ventricle से क्या होगा? यहाँ से aorta start होगा, and then the left ventricle will be actually giving rise to your pulmonary trunk there, guys. And that is the condition which is known as transposition of the great arteries. That is your TGA. So what is the problem in TGA? Is the spiral septum formed? Yes, the spiral septum will be formed there, but the problem is non-spiral. Non-spiral of spiral septum. Non-spiral of the spiral septum, guys. Kya baat hai? Kitna clear hai na? No need to mug up and all. And in this condition, what is how will be the diagram right now? Okay, this is your truncus arteriosus, and this will be the spiral septum. But the problem is it is not spiraling. Observe very carefully. Ascending aorta will remain here, and the pulmonary trunk will be remaining here, guys. It's exactly kind of opposite of the normal diagram. Understanding? And that condition is referred to as transposition of great arteries. Transposition of great arteries. Okay, ji, fine here. And finally, my dear friends, yes, thank you. Thank you, Gaurav. Okay. See, that is the reason why I'm teaching you a little bit, moderately, slowly here right now, my dear friends, because in these, live classes, in these special classes, in these free special classes, we actually don't have any idea whether it is a first year student or second year student or a post intern or who is preparing for NEET PG, who has already given a NEET PG exam and all. So normally for the PG students, will be teaching like very fast, because they'll be understanding very quickly. But here I don't have any idea. Okay, like it's a mixed group of student here. So that is why I'm just trying to go moderately here. So don't get bored with me. Fine. So what is going to happen here right now, my dear friends? Yes. If there is no spiral septum at all, agar spiral septum nahi hoga, the truncus arteriosus will remain as it is. Patent truncus arteriosus. If yes, there is a spiral septum, but there is a non-spiral of that one, agar wo spiral hi nahi hoga, that condition is known as transposition of great arteries, TGA. Okay. And now welcome to the third condition, and I love this one. And I love this one, sir. Are you ready? Are you ready, my dear friends, to learn this one here? और यहाँ पर ना मस्त दिमाग लगाना पड़ेगा आपको. सुनो ध्यान से. Okay. And this is the condition that we are going to discuss like in detail here. Welcome to this one. This is your truncus arteriosus. मैंने क्या कहा था? I will tell you the condition and you people are going to think. Truncus arteriosus. Sir, is there a spiral septum formed? Yes, it is formed. But what is going to happen here? Okay, the spiral septum in the middle will be actually not exactly in the middle. Okay, the spiral septum is not exactly in the middle here right now. There will be a little bit anterior displacement. ये थोड़ा सा ना आगे हट जाएगा. There is an anterior displacement of the spiral septum. And because of this anterior displacement of the spiral septum, what is going to happen? The pulmonary trunk is going to become very much narrow. You can clearly see in the diagram there. And the ascending aorta is becoming very much wider. And because the ascending aorta is becoming very much wider, it is going to override the interventricular septum. And overriding of that and pulmonary stenosis, all this you will be seeing, yes, in the tetralogy of the phalate. So what is that condition, guys? That is nothing but your TOF, tetralogy of the phalate. क्या बात है? और ये क्यों होता है? Why it will be happening, guys? That is due to anterior displacement. Yes, anterior displacement of spiral septum. I'm just writing in short as SS. Are you understanding the importance of anatomy here right now? Are you understanding the importance of embryology here right now, my dear friends? Understanding? So you will be just mugging up what is tetralogy of phalate? One-liner. What is that one-liner? Boot-shaped heart. Tetralogy of the phalate, boot-shaped heart. And on to that, or a khatarnak thing. People are mugging up with the mnemonics. I hate that mnemonic a lot, sir. पता नहीं mnemonic से कैसे याद होता है? उसके लिए भी mnemonic. Just be with me another 5 minutes, my dear friends. I'll make you expert in tetralogy of the phalate. समझ में आ रहा है? तो यहाँ से from embryology, from anatomy, embryology, and then slowly move towards that one. Is it okay? And the problem, underlying problem there is, yes, the underlying problem is anterior displacement of the spiral septum. So when you go back and learn the congenital heart diseases in your pathology or internal medicine, yes, learn the cause, etiology. What is the reason? What is the reason here? The reason here is the anterior displacement of the spiral septum. Thank you, Shweta. Thank you. Enjoy the classes, no problem. Okay. So let us see all the three things. Thank you, all of you, not even Shweta. Thank you, all of you, for attending my classes. And please even inform your friends to attend the class, guys. It's all just enjoying, you know. So learn anatomy very nicely here. I don't know why the students are not joining still. Chalo sir, आगे बढ़ते हैं. Sairam, I'll tell you about the conotruncal septum at the end, not now in the middle. Okay, fine here. तो चलिए हम आगे बढ़ते हैं. Let's go ahead here. So let me do it again here. The uppermost part of the heart, sir. Come on, एक बार फिर से हम लोग revise कर रहे हैं, sir. Let us revise for the last time, and then we'll go to the conditions right now, one by one. We'll go to tetralogy of the phalate, then we'll see TGA, then we'll see the patent truncus arteriosus. Is it okay? Now, let us repeat that again here. What is the cranial-most part of the heart, sir? Uppermost part of the developing heart will be truncus arteriosus. Truncus arteriosus is going to develop into ascending aorta and pulmonary trunk, and I told you that in the easiest manner how to remember. It is going to form ascending aorta and pulmonary trunk. But how they are divided, how they are separated, with the help of a septum in the middle. And that septum is nothing but your aorticopulmonary septum or spiral septum. If the spiral septum is not at all present there, patent truncus arteriosus. If the spiral septum is not spiraling, it is not getting spiral, then what is going to happen? Transposition of the great arteries. If it doesn't spiral, then what is going to happen? Sairam, agar wo spiral nahi hoga, yes, kya hoga? If it is not getting spiral, then what will happen? Aorta will be coming from the right ventricle only, and the pulmonary trunk is coming from the left ventricle. That is kind of opposite, transposition of great arteries. And the third condition, anterior displacement of the septum. Septum is anteriorly displaced. And that is why what is going to happen, guys? Narrow pulmonary trunk. But whereas the wider ascending aorta, overriding of the aorta, and all those, I'll tell you in that one. That condition is known as tetralogy of the phalate. What's that one, guys? Tetralogy of the phalate. Is it okay? I think everyone is comfortable till here. Yes, lovely. Okay. Now, after completing this conditions, three conditions here right now, let's take them one by one. And the first condition I'm going to discuss in detail is tetralogy of the phalate. Are you ready? Are you ready? Okay. Are you ready here right now, my dear friends? Welcome, welcome, welcome. Okay. So, ab ek kaam karo, sir. In your books, now please write down the heading as tetralogy of phalate. ओके, फैरस टेट्रोलॉजी. ठीक है. अब यार ना मैं आपको बताता हूं. आई विल टेल यू हियर राइट नाउ. Okay, how to remember the four conditions here right now. The name itself is telling you like tetralogy. Tetralogy means there should be like four conditions here right now. Okay. अरे भाई साहब, ये भाई मैं एनाटॉमी पढ़ाऊं कि ना पढ़ाऊं मेरे को समझ में नहीं आ रहा है. Now Mrinalini is asking, Miru Nalini is asking, sir, this session will be helpful for FMG students. I can't help out. Yes. Arey baapre. Students will help you, Mrinalini. Other students will help you. Is it helpful for FMG or not? Arey yaar, ye sare exams ke liye helpful hai bhai. This is one of the most important topic for almost every MC exam, every exam, FMG exam, your NEET PG exam, your AIMS exam, JIPMER exam, and not only that, it is very much high yielding topic for USMLE students. Okay. Everyone will be benefited out of this one. I don't know why you're asking me this kind of me. Tetralogy of the phalate. Okay, now welcome here. Yes, welcome here, sir. I will tell you the easiest way how to remember the four things here right now, sir. Imagine this is your developing heart here. Okay, ji. Still the heart is developing, sir. Okay, now imagine this is like developing heart. Okay. Now, in this developing heart, my dear friends, here, imagine this is the developing right ventricle and this will be left ventricle. See, I will not be able to repeat this again and again. I will not be able to repeat this again and again, my dear friends. I want you all to remember this in sequence in the easy manner. Welcome here. What is happening in this condition? Tetralogy of phalate mein ho raha kya hai? What is happening? The first thing that is happening here in tetralogy of the phalate is there will be pulmonary stenosis. Pulmonary trunk is going to begin from the right ventricle, but it is remaining very much narrow. Okay, I don't want like any disturbance right now, sir. I want you all to be like full concentrating here. Another 10-15 minutes, I'm promising you'll become expert. Look here. The pulmonary trunk, they will be narrowing here, stenosis. Okay, now pulmonary stenosis. And to be more specific, it will be subpulmonary stenosis here right now, sir. There'll be subpulmonary stenosis. I'll tell you what is the reason why I'm telling like that. Why I'm telling you subpulmonary stenosis, I'll tell you the reason. Okay, remember pulmonary stenosis. अरे यार ये बताओ, if there is a pulmonary stenosis here right now, what will happen to the right ventricle? Will the right ventricle will be able to pump the blood easily there? Will it be able to pump the blood easily? No. The pulmonary trunk is very narrow. The right ventricle has to do like more work. It has to apply more force so as to push the blood. And because it is applying like more force over there, what is going to happen? Yes, the wall of the right ventricle will undergo hypertrophy. So there will be right ventricular hypertrophy. I'm just representing this one here right now. There'll be concentric right ventricular hypertrophy on the inner side, guys, not on the outer side of the heart. Okay, so please don't say that the heart size is going to increase here right now. That's an important thing. अरे भाई साहब, मैं ना आपको हर जगह पर अपलोड कर दूंगा. I will upload this in YouTube. I will upload this on Unacademy everywhere. I am doing the classes from so many days. Every condition you already know. I'll upload. Okay, Prabhat, I'll upload. Please concentrate on the the condition here right now. Okay, fine. Okay, Prabhat, I'll upload this on the YouTube also. Fine. So pulmonary stenosis, number one point. And because of the narrowing of the pulmonary trunk over there, will the right ventricle be able to pump the blood easily into that one? No, it has to apply like more force. So there'll be hypertrophy, right ventricular hypertrophy. Second point. Again. And remember, important thing, it's not going to, increase in size on the outer side of the heart. The heart size will be remaining normal in this condition. Okay. I'll tell you what is the importance of that later on. Now, apart from this, what else are the important things? Just to complete this diagram here, imagine this one is your, interventricular septum, and this one is your left ventricle, as usual, normal. This one is your interventricular septum. Is the interventricular septum formed normally here? No. So welcome to the point number 3. There will be ventricular septal defect. There'll be a VSD. Yes, there'll be a VSD. Ventricular septal defect will be there. Okay, fine. And after that, my dear friends, मैंने क्या कहा था आपको? What I told you in our anatomy part, I told you that there'll be anterior displacement of the spiral septum. Because of that, ascending aorta lumen will become more wider. And because of the wider lumen here of the ascending aorta, it's going to, override the ventricular septum. So your aorta is not going to remain only persistent to the left ventricle. It is not remaining only in the left ventricle. Normally it should be like that. It should be coming from the left ventricle. But now what is going to happen, because of the wider lumen there, it's overriding the ventricular septum. And that's your aorta, overriding aorta, guys. Are you understanding the entire story here right now? So isko na ek kahani ki tarah padho, sir. Learn it like a story. Understanding? So point number 1, pulmonary stenosis. Point number 2, right ventricular hypertrophy. Point number 3, ventricular septal defect. And the point number 4 will be overriding of aorta. Now tell me, my dear friends, is there anything to mug up? And that too with a mnemonic? हद है यार, कितना mnemonic पढ़ोगे भाई ABCD करके, ठीक है? So no need to learn with any mnemonics there. Come on, sir, start writing. So what is happening in the tetralogy of the phalate? Number 1, there'll be subpulmonic stenosis. Now you might be thinking, why is Azam sir using the word as subpulmonic here right now? In some of my classes, what is happening, students are taking it wrongly that the stenosis is actually due to the pulmonary valve. Stenosis is not at all due to the pulmonary valve here. Stenosis is not due to the pulmonary valve there. Pulmonary valve is very much perfect here. Listen with all your ears open. Pulmonary valve का problem नहीं है वहाँ पर. Pulmonary valve is perfect there. It's actually below the valve. Okay, and that is due to what, sir? That is because of this, the muscles over there, that extra hypertrophy. Because of that hypertrophied muscles there, they are causing the stenosis. So that is infundibular, the smooth part, the outflowing part of the ventricle. Okay, that is why subpulmonic stenosis. Number 2, because of this, what is going to happen, sir? There will be right ventricular hypertrophy. Right ventricular hypertrophy will be there. Okay. Number 3, there'll be ventricular septal defect. And number 4, my dear friends, yes, there'll be overriding of iota. There'll be overriding of the iota. Now tell me, do you have to you need to mug up this one here right now? No. ठीक है, तो आपको आपको यहाँ पर क्या करना होगा? You don't have to mug up this one, guys. That is your tetralogy of the phalate. Easy. Now, after learning these 4 things in the tetralogy of the phalate, sometimes in your exams they can even test you with the trilogy and the pentology. Now, what is the meaning of trilogy here right now, sir? Trilogy का मतलब क्या होगा? Now, what is happening with the trilogy, sir? Number 1, will there be pulmonary stenosis hoga? Yes, it will be there. Number 2, will there be right ventricular hypertrophy? Yes, it will be there. And but in the place of ventricular septal defect, there will be the atrial septal defect, sir. ASD hoga. So what is the meaning of trilogy? Trilogy में क्या होता है? Number 1, pulmonary stenosis remains the same. And number 2, right ventricular hypertrophy also remains the same. But number 3, there'll be no ventricular septal defect. There will be actually atrial septal defect, guys. ASD होता है. And of course, overriding of iota तो होता ही नहीं है. There'll be no overriding of the iota. That is trilogy. Then what about the pentology, guys? Yes. What is the pentology? In pentology, what is going to happen? All the things of tetralogy of phalate will occur. And along with the tetralogy of the phalate, all the things, along with that, there will be even ASD also. Oh my God. That means in pentology, you have got the ventricular septal defect also, VSD also, as well as ASD also. Okay, na? So that is first question solved here right now, sir. So they can ask you about the pentology of the phalate or the trilogy of the phalate. So pentology and trilogy, it is done here right now. Okay. Now, once you are done with this one, let's go ahead. After completing the tetralogy, trilogy, and pentology, अब हम बढ़ते हैं आगे. Guys, अगर मैंने आपको पूछा, for example, if I ask you, let us solve one more question here right now. I promised you, right? I'm going to cover like every MCQ possible here right now. है ना? मैंने आपको promise किया था. So let me cover like one more MCQ here. Every student knows now what is the meaning of tetralogy. The 4 things will occur. But out of the 4 things, if I ask you right now, my dear friends, out of that 4 things, if I ask you right now, my dear friends, okay, which is the most important feature, the hallmark feature of the tetralogy of the phalate? Out of the 4 things, which is the hallmark feature? Come on, guys. Which is the hallmark feature? Yes. So MCQ number 1, remember, it is the, yes, pulmonary stenosis. Out of all this, the hallmark feature of the tetralogy of the phalate, if they ask you in the exam, that is the pulmonary stenosis, guys. Subpulmonary stenosis. सारी कहानी start वहीं से होती है. There will be subpulmonary stenosis over there. Perfect. So one thing completed. अब हम बढ़ते हैं आगे. Now let us see what is going to happen one by one like a story. Are you ready? So let us see all the things. Till here it is clear, guys. So first thing I have clarified here right now, the tetralogy, the trilogy, and the pentology. And after that, my dear friends, yes, what is the hallmark feature here right now? That is nothing but the stenosis. Once this is done, अब हम बढ़ते हैं आगे, sir. And let us learn it like a story, like one by one, sir. केस में होता क्या है? What is going to happen in the tetralogy of the phalate? Let's see one by one. Now, I want to ask the question from you people. I'm not going to leave you people. I want you to think, and think, sir. No, just copying business in my class. Think. Sir, if there's a ventricular septal defect here right now, agar VSD hoga, point number 1 that I want here. I'm not now discussing everything regarding TO, guys. I'm discussing everything regarding the tetralogy of the phalate right now. After that comparison, let us discuss only about the TOF. Now, my dear friends, tell me, अगर tetralogy of the phalate में, tell me, if there is a ventricular septal defect in the middle here right now, shunting होगा, definitely the shunting of blood will occur. Now tell me, the blood will shunt from the right ventricle to left ventricle, or the blood will shunt from left ventricle towards the right ventricle. In VSD, what is going to happen? It is left to right shunting or right to left shunting? Yes, that's the problem with every student. That's the problem with every student. Okay, now? Open your ears widely and listen to my words very, very carefully. Yes, we all know normally in a normal human being like you and me, okay na? In a normal human being like you and me, left ventricle में pressure ज़्यादा होता है. That is why blood will be coming from left. It should happen like that normally. But welcome to tetralogy of the phalate. It's happening opposite. Why? Because of the right ventricular hypertrophy there the pressure will be more, and because the pressure is more here, the shunting of the blood will occur from the right to left. That is something out of the blue. That is against your thinking. Is it okay? Shunting will occur from the right ventricle towards the left ventricle. Okay, so that's the first point to remember here. So yes sir, shunting hoga. And the shunting will occur from where to where, sir? From the right towards the left shunt hoga. That's something out of the blue, guys. One thing, number one. And listen to my class very carefully. I'll tell you in it like, one thing is dependent on the other thing. Why? Because I have seen like many students, ये लोग क्या करते हैं ना, like most of the students, what they will do, point number one, point number two, point number three, they'll be just mugging up the diseases. Now, I have not at all learned like that in my MBBS days. Okay, that is why the basics are very clear. मैंने क्या किया, इसको ना correlate करो, try to correlate that one. Okay, shunting is occurring from right to left. अब यार अगर shunting of blood हो रहा है, will there be any abnormal sounds here right now? Do you have like murmurs? Of course, it's not like a normal heart. normal heart. तो normal heart sounds तो नहीं होंगे यहाँ पर, है ना? There'll be some murmur right now. Murmurs is actually a very big topic, a separate topic. But here, tell me, will there be a shunt murmur? Because the blood is going from right ventricle towards the left ventricle, because of shunting of this blood from right to left, will you be able to hear this murmur? I mean to say, will there be a shunt murmur? Will there be a shunt murmur? Hota hai ki nahi hota hai? I'm telling you all the words which they will be using in the exam. Okay, remember, shunt murmur will be very much negligible, so you'll not be able to listen to that one. So that is shunt murmur will be negligible, guys. Then sir, which murmur will occur? हाँ, यहाँ देखो ध्यान से. When the right ventricle is trying to pump the blood is trying to move into the pulmonary trunk, but the pulmonary trunk is narrow. There is stenosis. And because of this stenosis here right now, what is going to happen? The blood is moving with a very difficulty into the pulmonary trunk there, and that is going to create some abnormal sound, murmur, guys. And yes, that murmur will be seen. So will there be a shunt murmur? No, but there will be a flow murmur. Okay, so write down there, yes, you will be having a flow murmur. And what is this murmur exactly known as, guys? Yes, Shweta is answering very correctly there. It will be ESM. And what is that ESM? It is ejection, okay? And it is systolic when it is going to contract. Murmur, ejection systolic murmur will occur. ESM, ejection systolic murmur will occur. Wow, ठीक है ना? तो देख रहे हो sir, one by one, it is all dependent. So try to learn it like that. There is a ventricular septal defect. You start from there. So will the blood shunt? Yes. Right to left or left to right? It will be right to left. It is like opposite of your thinking. Why? Because the right ventricular hypertrophy, what is going to happen? The pressure is more on the right side. It's shunting from right to left. Then will you be able to listen to that sound? No. Shunt murmur will be very much negligible. But remember, there'll be a flow murmur. Okay. And that flow murmur will be ejection systolic murmur. Ab aage kya hoga? What is going to happen? One more thing. Now, one more thing, the next thing is very much important, sir. This point is very much important. This point will be used like many times in your exams. Yes. Because of pulmonary stenosis, what happens to the amount of blood that is going to the lungs? Will it be like more blood or less blood going to the lungs? It will be less blood going to the lung. And because decreased amount of blood is going to the lungs, that is why it is known as pulmonary oligemia. Pulmonary oligemia. Pulmonary lungs. Oligo, the word comes anywhere in your entire MBBS. Oligo means few, less. I hope you know that words like mono, di, poly, oligo. Poly means many, something like that. Oligo means few, emia blood. So less amount of blood is going to the lungs. And that is even visible on the chest X-ray. Your lungs will be appearing like more darker, more black because of pulmonary oligemia. Wow, it makes sense. Then after that, now the next important thing is very much important concept. And I want like more concentration here. Yahan tak, till here also it's like easy. Average MBBS student will manage. Okay. Now, my dear friends, thank you, Shweta. Now, my dear friends, concentrate here right now. First, let me ask the question from you people. Let me see how much you are able to think properly. Tell me, in the people or in the patient suffering with tetralogy of the phalate, in this patient, will you be able to find cyanosis on the day 0, right on the day of the birth? Come on, my dear friends. On days in tetralogy of the phalate, I want the answer from everyone. Yes or no? होगा कि नहीं होगा? Now again you can see many of the people are answering no. Maternal blood transfusion? Are you no? Mahmood, Gibran Mahmood. I'm not telling like before birth, not like intrauterine life. Delivery has occurred. Now the baby has taken birth. I'm telling day 0 cyanosis होगा कि नहीं होगा? Cyanosis అవుతుందా లేదా? इस बेबी में cyanosis होगा कि नहीं होगा? On day 0. Now, now I'll tell you. Listen here. Now, my dear friends, welcome. Very important topic here. It's a very important point here. Now, what is going to happen here right now in these babies? Listen very carefully. Just immediately after the birth, listen very carefully here right now. Thoda dhyan se sunna. This is very much important, and I'll not be able to repeat this again and again. See, from the right ventricle, right side, you'll be always having deoxygenated blood, impure blood. I'm telling you again and again, sir, will not be able to repeat this point again because I'm going to spoil the diagram. So इसलिए एक बार सुनो और ध्यान से सुनो. The blood is shunting from the right ventricle into the left ventricle. And because the blood is shunting from the right ventricle into the left ventricle, it is actually deoxygenated blood. And that deoxygenated blood from the left ventricle will go into the aorta. Okay. And from the aorta, the deoxygenated blood is going here. It's going here. Yes, of course, via the aorta, it will go to your body. It will be distributed to the body. But immediately after the birth, there is one important structure present here between the aorta and the pulmonary artery. There'll be a duct. And what is the name of the duct? That is ductus arteriosus. Are why are you using the word as patent by? I don't know, like who will be teaching you all these kind of things? Ductus arteriosus bolte patent ductus arteriosus. No, patent ductus arteriosus is actually a problem. I'm telling you, there'll be a duct present immediately after the birth, and that is nothing but, yes, ductus arteriosus. Yes, Mittal is absolutely correct there. Ductus arteriosus will immediately not close after the birth. It is not immediately closed after the birth. Remember, the functional closure of that duct will occur by day 7. Acha, that means it is still present there. वो तो है ना? And because of that, my dear friends, what is going to happen here? Functional closure कब होगा? Day 7 पर होगा. Because it is still present there, and because of that, what is going to happen? The blood will go from here. And blood will go from where? From the aorta, the blood will go via ductus arteriosus to pulmonary artery. Sir, why it is going from aorta to pulmonary artery also? You can question there also. Why it is going from aorta to the pulmonary artery there? Why not from artery to the aorta? Aorta में pressure ज़्यादा होता है. Aorta में pressure ज़्यादा, more pressure in the aorta. That is why, yes, the blood is coming from the left ventricle into the aorta via ductus arteriosus. It will go to the pulmonary artery, and from the pulmonary artery, that blood will be going to the lungs. है ना? It will go to the lungs. And lungs kya karega? What will lungs do? Lungs will oxygenate the blood. And because the lungs are going to do oxygenation, the blood is oxygenated, and that oxygenated blood will come to the left atrium. And from the left atrium, it will go to left ventricle. Oh my God. Are you all understanding here right now? Is it okay? Perfectly done, sir. Crystal clear. So I repeat again. Yes. Okay. I repeat again, if you have learned like that, Mittal, you are wrong there. Okay, now please, I'm telling you, you have to accept me. There's a lot of things in that one, Mittal. There's anatomical closure and there's a functional closure. I have used the word very carefully in English, functional closure. Listen to my each and every word, okay? Yes, ab suno dhyan se. Because of the ventricular septal defect, I'm repeating here for the last and final time. Because of the ventricular septal defect, okay, the blood is shunting from right ventricle to left ventricle. That blood will be from the left ventricle will be going to the aorta, and from the aorta, ductus arteriosus is still open. Why? Because it is going to close on day 7, and that is the reason why the blood is going to the lungs, and from the lungs, oxygenated blood is going to come, and that's the reason why that's the most important keyword in your exams. If they give you there is central cyanosis on day 7 will occur, guys, because after closure, अगर मान लो ये close हो जाएगा, तो close हो जाएगा तो क्या होगा? After that, what will happen? Central cyanosis will occur. So after 1 week, if central cyanosis is seen in the baby, that means yes, it is tetralogy of the phalate. Okay, so on day 0, cyanosis will not be seen, but the cyanosis in tetralogy of the phalate will be seen only on day 7. Okay, तो ये word बहुत important है. तो चलिए इसे हम लोग यहाँ पर लिखते हैं. Note down point number 5. There'll be no cyanosis on day 0. Okay, and if someone asks you the reason why there is no cyanosis on day 0, why? Due to the presence of, since the presence of ductus arteriosus. Lovely. Okay, and if you are interested here right now, I'll tell you something a little bit in more depth here. That is the reason why, because the circulation is taking place from the ductus arteriosus. That is why, therefore, this type of circulation is known as ductal dependent pulmonary circulation. Normally in you and me, what is happening right now, sir? The blood is going to the lungs only via pulmonary artery. But in these babies, in these patients, what is going to happen? The blood is going via the ductus arteriosus. That is why it is known as ductal dependent pulmonary circulation. Wow. So there'll be no cyanosis on day 0 because the blood is getting oxygenated. It is going to lungs. Crystal clear. So when will cyanosis will occur? Remember, the cyanosis will occur on day 7. So point number 6, therefore, the central cyanosis will be occurring on which, on day 7. Why it is occurring on day 7? Why? Because on day 7 there'll be functional closure, and once this is closed, ductus arteriosus is closed, the blood is not going to the lungs. So if it is not oxygenated, it will lead towards a central cyanosis on day 7. Oh my God. Are you understanding here right now? So that's that's the entire sequence I want you to remember in. So learn like this, you will never have a problem in your entire lifetime, guys. Is it okay? I think I'm making the concept clear to you people, guys. You people will be actually studying these concepts in your pathology and internal medicine part, your medicine faculty. I think there's some problem. Yeah. Yes. Are you able to listen to me now? I think I'm visible and audible to all of you. Yes. Okay, fine. So that's what I'm trying to tell you people, that I have seen like many students, tetralogy of the phalate, ratta, full mug up, and they're learning all these points just mugging up. No need to mug up, guys. In my classes, learn it in a proper manner. Kahan se start karoge? Chalo, let us do it once more here right now. Yes. So let us start right now. Yes, the condition, shunting se start karoge aap. Shunting will be occurring from right to left. Why? Because the pressure will be more on the right side. And will there be murmur? Yes, the shunt murmur will be negligible, but yes, there'll be flow murmur. Ejection systolic murmur will be present there. That is why, because of the stenosis there, less amount of blood is going to the lungs, pulmonary oligoemia. And what about cyanosis? Hoga ki nahi hoga? Nahi hoga on the day 0. Why? Because yes, there will be ductus arteriosus present. That is known as ductal dependent pulmonary circulation. Cyanosis will occur on day 7. Yes, Gaurav, there is 0 also, and that is nothing but transposition of great arteries, TGA. In TGA, Gaurav, you'll be able to see cyanosis on day 0. Yes, I think I'm very clear there. TGA, in TGA, you'll be seeing the cyanosis on the day 0 itself. Is it okay? Fine. Chaliye. Ab now, how to manage? What is the treatment here right now, sir? Even a first year MBBS student can also tell the treatment here after listening to my class. Oh, then what should be the treatment? I should keep this open. I should not allow that to be closed. So maintain the patency. Usko open rakhna padega. And that is done by prostaglandin analogs. Okay, now drugs which are similar to prostaglandins, and that will be actually your alprostadil. So now let us continue our story. Apni story ko hum aage badhate hain. So what is the treatment? What is the drug of choice here? The drug of choice here right now will be your alprostadil. Okay, alprostadil, you can clearly see in the name itself, guys. In pharmacology faculty will actually teach you in all the prostaglandin analog, uske naam mein na prost karke aata hai, prostaglandin analog hota hai. And what is the use of this one? It will maintain patency. It will maintain patency, guys. It will keep that open. But my dear doctors, just maintaining the patency, is it okay? Is it enough? It is the drug of choice, I'm telling you, but it is the treatment of choice? No, it is not the treatment of choice. What's the treatment of choice? You have to do the surgery here right now, guys. And you have to actually shunt. Okay, and that shunting is actually known as BT shunt. And that BT shunt is nothing but Blalock Taussig shunt. So there'll be BT shunting. And that BT shunting will be between the subclavian artery. There'll be a graft, between the subclavian artery and the pulmonary artery, guys. So I hope you're understanding the connection there. The arch of aorta, from the arch of aorta, blood will be going into the subclavian artery, and from the subclavian artery, it is actually carrying the systemic blood, and that will be connected to the pulmonary artery so that the circulation is maintained via the lungs. I want the blood to be oxygenated so that the cyanosis will decrease. Are you understanding my point here right now? So that will be nothing but BT shunting. Okay. So remember the drug of choice there, the drug of choice will be your alprostadil. Okay. But that is only used for maintaining the patency. But is it that the treatment of choice? No. The treatment of choice will be a palliative surgery. The surgery will be your BT shunting. Okay. Now, Blalotoxic shunt. Are you comfortable with that one? Okay. So that is how you are going to deal with these type of patients. Yes. Sir, what are the features on examination? On examination, are you able to see something? Yes. Let us see what are the features on examination of the patient. On the examination of the patient, number one will be clubbing. Hannah, on the fingers, you'll be having the clubbing and then so if you just want to write down because that is also done on examination only. तो शंट मर्मर होगा कि नहीं होगा एक बार फिर से रिपीट करते हैं. शंट मर्मर यहाँ पर नहीं होगा, नेग्लिजिबल होगा. But yes, you'll be having the flow murmur. That is all on examination, yes. And that will be having which one? Ejection systolic murmur, ESM. Anything else you'll be able to see here right now? You'll be also able to see the parasternal heave करके होता है. So parasternal heave, what is that one, guys? Yes, your right ventricle is actually undergoing hypertrophy, and because of that right ventricular hypertrophy just behind the sternum there, so that is why parasternal heave will be the elevated part. And this patient, yes, remember there'll be failure to thrive. Failure to thrive. Why? Because there will be cyanosis and all those. The partial pressure of oxygen in the blood will be less, so that is why failure to thrive. Fine. So all these things will be seen on examination. On examination, ये हमको visible होगा sir. Okay. So clubbing will be, you'll be able to see there, you'll be able to find the murmur, that is ESM, and then parasternal heave will be there and failure to thrive. Apart from that, welcome to your favorite part. है ना? हम लोग क्या करेंगे? Chest X-ray. On chest X-ray, what are the findings? Let us see what are the findings on the chest X-ray. Your favorite part. Now comes your favorite part, sir. Chest X-ray. Number one, on the chest X-ray, you are able to see the pulmonary oligemia. Sir, how come? You can clearly see there because less amount of blood is actually because the less amount of blood is actually going to your lungs will be appearing like more darker, more black. So you can appreciate that in the chest X-ray here right now. So the lungs are appearing more black. Okay, now more black. And apart from that, number two, the boot-shaped heart. Your hot favorite point, but nowadays I don't believe that they'll be asking this question in the exams because they're asking all clinical questions and all. So be ready with all that clinical explanation. Pulmonary oligemia, failure to thrive, and then the right to left shunting, those kind of terms they'll be giving in the exam in that entire clinical case. But I don't believe they'll be giving like boot-shaped heart and all. That was all like our previous days. Acha, ऐसे क्यों हो रहा है? Why it is happening like that? Listen here right now. Why are you able to see this boot-shaped heart here right now? I'll tell you. In anatomy, if you have attended my classes, I already taught you that this will be your right ventricle here right now, and this will be your left ventricle. So let me use another color. Yes, this one is your right ventricle here, and this one is your left ventricle. And we all know that the apex of the heart will be formed by what? The apex of the heart will be actually formed by left ventricle only. Apex of the heart will be formed by left ventricle. Fine. But now what is happening in tetralogy of the Fallot? In TOF, what is happening? The right ventricular hypertrophy. And because the right ventricle is undergoing hypertrophy, yes, because of that, what will happen, sir? Concentric right ventricular hypertrophy. Because of that, the apex will be no more down because of the hypertrophy of this right ventricle here. The apex will be like upturned apex. So apex of the heart will not be like this. It will be coming like this. It will be like upturned. Upturned apex will be there because of right ventricular hypertrophy. And that is giving the appearance of a boot-shaped heart. Boot-shaped heart. Okay, now, boot-shaped heart, guys. That is giving the appearance because of that upturned. I hope you're able to appreciate here right now. This is the upturned apex of the heart there, guys. And instead of giving you the word as boot-shaped heart there, they will actually torture you in the exam with another word. And that will be core and sabot. Core and sabot. Okay, now core and sabot. Okay, now the Turkish shoe like heart will be there. So that is why it is given as boot-shaped heart. And then number three will be the right-sided aortic arch. In the patients who are suffering with tetralogy of the phalate, these are the three clinical findings you'll be seeing on the chest X-ray. But this third one will be found only in the 30% of the people. It is not present. And the third one, the right-sided aortic arch, you will not be able to appreciate that in the chest X-ray, guys. So don't worry a lot about the third one. Okay, sir, batao ke how is the right-sided aortic arch will be there. You'll not be able to appreciate that on the chest X-ray. So forget about that. That too is not, it is not present in every patient. It's there only in the 30% of the patient, guys. So take it easy, guys. Okay. So I'll repeat again, chest X-ray, number one, pulmonary oligemia. Why? Because less amount of blood is going to the lungs. Lungs will be appearing like more black, more dark. Boot-shaped heart. Why? Because of the right ventricular hypertrophy. Because of right ventricular hypertrophy, what is going to happen? Because of the right ventricular hypertrophy here, right ventricular hypertrophy, there'll be upturned apex. Apex will be upturned, giving the image of a boot-shaped heart, coherence about, and then there'll be right-sided aortic arch. Right-sided aortic arch. Okay. Now, is it the investigation of choice, sir? What is the investigation of choice for tetralogy of the phalate? What is the investigation of choice for tetralogy of the phalate? Is it the chest X-ray? No. Chest X-ray is just more commonly used for finding this clinical finding there. The investigation of choice will be the echocardiography. Echocardiography will be the investigation of choice. Don't mark the answer as chest X-ray, because always our faculties will be putting in our mind there boot-shaped heart, and we are thinking that itself is the investigation of choice. No, it will be actually the echocardiography, guys. Okay, fine here. Ab suno dhyan se. Okay, if suppose this child, okay, as the age increases in the older patients of tetralogy of the phalate. Welcome to the last and final point here right now, sir. In the older patients of tetralogy of the phalate, in the older patient of the tetralogy of the phalate, what will happen? Have you seen in the older patient of tetralogy of the phalate, there'll be episodes of squatting. There'll be squatting episodes. बंदा क्या करेगा? Squatting करेगा. All these words are important, guys. This will be like keywords. These are the keywords. Okay, now TET spell is a different thing, but I'm telling you this one as a different thing here right now. In older patients of tetralogy of the phalate, there'll be squatting. Sir, how come squatting helps? Squatting क्या करेगा? Squatting कैसे help करेगा यहाँ पर? Remember, whenever the patient is trying to squat, what will happen? The femoral arteries. Okay, now femoral arteries will be compressed. Okay. Femoral artery क्या होता है ना? Compress होता है. When the person is trying to squat there, तो femoral artery क्या होगा? Compress होगा. If the femoral artery is compressing, because of this compression, what is going to happen? The peripheral resistance will increase. Listen very, very carefully. We are discussing one very important part here right now. When the person is squatting में क्या होता है? Femoral artery will be compressed, and because of compression of the femoral artery, peripheral resistance will increase. When the peripheral resistance is increased, yes, what will happen? Who is going to supply the blood into the femoral artery or the entire body there? Aorta. So aorta is going to carry the blood. But what is happening right now? Peripheral resistance बढ़ रहा है. So because of that, what is going to happen? So as to pump the blood into the aorta, your left ventricle will be applying more force. Because of increased peripheral resistance, your left ventricle will contract with more force of contraction there. और उसकी वजह से क्या होगा? Because of more pressure there, yes, this shunting will be reduced, will be decreased. From the right to left, the shunting will be decreased. And if the shunting is decreased, I'm not just marking a cross mark here right now, but don't think the shunting will completely stop. Shunting will decrease there. And because of that, what is going to happen, my dear friends? Yes, because of that, what is going to happen? Yes, it will lead to decreased cyanosis. So as the age of the baby will keep on increasing, and the moment the baby is trying to feel those, conditions or the signs of tetralogy of the phalate, के cyanosis बढ़ रहा है, partial pressure of oxygen is less there, then what that baby will do, that is the nature's way of treating that one. So what is going to do? The baby is trying to do squatting. Now, why do we have that squatting episodes? If you have not understood, I'll repeat once more why the baby has got the squatting episodes. Due to squatting, what will happen? Femoral artery will be compressed, and that will lead to increased peripheral resistance. And if it is increased peripheral resistance, what will happen? The blood will not be able to easily pumped from the aorta here. Because of increased peripheral resistance, what is going to happen? The blood will not be able to pumped very easily from the aorta. That is why the left ventricle pressure will increase. And because of that increased left ventricular pressure, the shunting will decrease, and that will reduce the cyanosis. That is why squatting. And TED spell is actually a little bit different condition that will happen in the ekdam like newborn babies. I'm not telling about the newborn, I'm telling about the older patient. They themselves will be doing the squatting. Older patients of tetralogy of the phalate, they themselves will do the squatting. But in the babies, just born, in them, whenever you find that TED spell में मतलब उसमें क्या होता है? The cyanosis will occur, hypercyanotic condition होता है. The lips of the baby will become like more blue and blue, such blue that they'll be appearing like more black. And at that time, we'll advise the mothers or will advise the parents to take the baby in the knee chest position. Again, the same thing we are doing here right now. Hai na? So knee chest position is nothing but again we are doing like squatting. So when you take the baby in the knee chest position, what is going to happen? Femoral artery compressed, peripheral resistance increased. Because of that, the ventricle is trying to increase the pressure, left ventricle, and because of that, the shunting will reduce and cyanosis will reduce, guys. That is also the same condition. We are going to handle that with the same condition. Are you comfortable with this one? Are you all comfortable with this one? I don't know. It started all with anatomy. It went into medicine. I don't know whether you're understanding or not. एक बारी revise करते हैं. Shall we revise once? Okay. And end the class. We'll revise once and end the class. Welcome. I started my today's class from here, sir. Development of the heart. Come on. I think this will give you a complete picture. You know? Normally what will happen is that anatomy, normally in our batches, in our live classes, what will happen? In my classes, I'll be teaching anatomy and I'm the first faculty to interact with the students. First class will be anatomy class and medicine will be the last class after 6 months. After 6 to 8 months, medicine will be the last class. Understanding? तो हम anatomy पहली क्लास में पढ़ाते हैं और medicine आखिरी में पढ़ते हो आप लोग, and till then in the middle everything is gone. You don't have that spiral septum, truncus arteriosus, ascending aorta, everything is already vanished from the mind. At that time the students are not able to correlate, and I think these classes are helping you. Thank you. So now listen to me very carefully for 2 minutes, sir. Exactly 2 minutes. We are going to end this class here right now. Yes, Ross, in the newborn babies, you'll be able to find the TED spells and you will be doing that one, okay, now, as a parent. But whereas in the older patient, they themselves will be doing this squatting. Okay, now, once they feel that cyanotic condition, once they feel that, difficulty in breathing and cyanotic condition, decreased partial pressure of oxygen, that is the nature's way of treatment, okay. Now, the older patients, I mean to say the older babies, will be doing themselves. Okay, so Rayan dekho sir, come on. This I'll remember forever. Thank you, Shraddha. So come on, sir. Initially, during the development of the heart, there'll be 2 heart tubes. They'll be fused cranially, and the caudal end is going to remain free. So now, because of this, what is going to happen? The cranial end will be truncus arteriosus. The caudal end will be sinus venosus. I asked you to remember venosus. Venous will be inflow, and truncus arteriosus will be the outflow. Is it okay? And that is the reason why it is going to form your ascending aorta and the pulmonary trunk. Okay, and sir, how come 2 blood vessels are coming here? Between them, there is a formation of septum. And what is the name of that septum in the middle? Aorticopulmonary septum or spiral septum. Why the name is kept as spiral? It is going to spiral, take a turn. And because of that only, aorta will come from left ventricle and the pulmonary trunk will be coming from the right ventricle, guys. Then, and then, yes, what are the problems here right now? The spiral septum will be normally derived from where? Neural crescents. Yahan tak ye anatomy ho gaya. Anatomy is done here very clearly. No spiral septum, yes, it will be like truncus arteriosus, patent truncus arteriosus. If the spiral septum is not able to spiral, then what will happen? Aorta will be coming from right ventricle, pulmonary trunk will be coming from the left ventricle. That is why transposition of great arteries there. And finally, if there is an anterior displacement of that one, pulmonary stenosis and aorta, overriding of the aorta lumen will become more wider. That will lead to tetralogy of the phalate. Tetralogy of the phalate, 4 things. Point number 1. Pulmonary stenosis. Point number 2, right ventricular hypertrophy. Point number 3, ventricular septal defect, VSD. And the point number 4 will be overriding aorta. Okay. And suppose if you are having ASD in this one, along with that one, that is pentology. And suppose if there is only point number 1, pulmonary stenosis, number 2, ventricular hypertrophy, right ventricular hypertrophy, along with the ASD, then it is triology, guys. Done. And the hallmark feature will be nothing but the pulmonary stenosis, subpulmonary stenosis. And after that, what is going to happen in this condition? Yes, shunting from right to left will occur, shunt murmur, negligible, flow murmur, yes, ejection systolic murmur, and less amount of blood is going to the lungs there, pulmonary oligemia. And will there be cyanosis on day 0? No cyanosis. Why? Because the blood is circulating via ductus arteriosus, ductal dependent pulmonary circulation. No cyanosis on day 0. Cyanosis will occur on day 7. So what you should do for treatment, maintain the patency by alprostadil, and that is not the treatment of choice. Treatment of choice, you have to do the surgery. BT shunting between the subclavian artery and the pulmonary artery. Presenting features will be like clubbing, the murmur you can hear there, and the parasternal heave will be seen there and failure to thrive. Parasternal heave, someone was asking me, it is due to the right ventricular hypertrophy. Right ventricular hypertrophy, there'll be heave just behind the sternal. And the chest X-ray, what are the features of this one? Yes, pulmonary oligemia, more blacker, lungs, boot-shaped heart. Why? Because the apex of the heart is upturned because of right ventricular hypertrophy, coherence abort, and then right-sided aortic arch seen in 30% of the patient, not all of them. But remember, chest X-ray is not the investigation of choice. Investigation of choice will be echocardiography. And after that, my dear friends, the last and final thing I told you about the squatting episodes, even that is the word that will be used in the clinical cases. Is it okay? So that's all for today, my dear friends. Hope these classes are helping you. One request from my side here, starting from anatomy, we went into, pediatrics and medicine today. That is how we are going to correlate. And I'll meet you again. I'll be doing these classes. But one request, I'm requesting all of you, my dear friends, that please share this with all your friends also. I want all the students to get benefited from these classes, and onto that you don't have to mug up this and all. And Prabhat Kumar, this video will be there on Unacademy platform and it will be free of cost. You don't have to pay for that, and you can watch the video a number of times. Prabhat Kumar, you can watch the video on Unacademy platform with the same link and number of times you can watch them, guys. Okay, so I request all of you to please circulate the message in all your university and your college friends, and to all, like from first year to the final year. Please ask them to join the classes, and that will even motivate me also to continue with these kind of classes. Otherwise, I'll stop taking these classes. Is it okay? So thank you all, guys. So this is Dr. Azam for you, signing off. Take care. Bye-bye. Stay blessed. Thank you. And of course, I'll be waiting for your feedbacks on Unacademy, guys.